If you watched my 3-part series on becoming a funded trader, you know I finally completed the challenge at the end of October. So in this video, I'll cover what went right with my funded account, what went wrong, and how I ended up losing it altogether, and what I'm doing next. Things actually started off pretty rough after I became funded. I lost $1,400 my first day and another $1,400 my second day to put me in the hole $2,800. I realized quickly that trading 2 contracts on NQ was a little too aggressive and I should slow things down. I started climbing out of the hole with 2 decent green days, but then took a $1,600 loss on the following Monday. Now I broke a couple of rules here that accounted for $1,000 of that loss. First, I entered the trade within the first 30 minutes of the market open, which I do not like doing. Second, I averaged down, which again, I don't like doing, unless I plan for that possibility when first entering a trade. So here I am short 2 contracts on NQ, but the breakdown was a fake out, and I had to stop out for a $993 loss. I then had a great entry for a long, but when I'm digging myself out of a hole, I really want to keep my risk tight to make sure my red days don't get too bad, but here I moved my stop to break even far too soon, got stopped out, watched the trade continue higher, then I hopped back in, but quickly got stopped out on this wick lower and watched from the sidelines as the market ran to new highs without me. This is a huge issue for me. My initial analysis will be correct, but my execution and trade management will be flawed. But the next day, things went a little bit better. I waited until 9 a.m. Central before taking my first trade. I took a long on NQ after he broke out, came back down to 15,860, which was previous resistance. I had a lot of conviction in this trade, so I added 2 more contracts while waiting for a retest of the breakout. I then scaled out, the first contract for 23 points and then the last 2 right at the highs. This was a perfect exit as NQ then entered a downtrend for the rest of the morning. So that Tuesday was good for almost 1.6K. Then I finished out the rest of the week with over $1,700 in profit, climbing out of that initial hole that I dug for myself. By the 13th day, my account balance hit $2,000. Since I logged over 5 green days of at least $200, I was now eligible for a withdrawal from Top Step, but I really wanted more of a buffer in my account before taking any money out, so I opted not to. The last week of November, I hit a rough patch with the cherry on top being a $2,200 red day on the 30th. Price swept lower at the open, then retraced back up. I hopped in long, expecting a reversal, and again, bad habit, I averaged down. Price knifed down and stopped me out for a $1,500 loss. My problem here is I was sticking too strongly with my long bias, and based off where I entered my second contract, the only place that really made sense to put my stop loss caused an oversized loss. Then December started off nicely with back-to-back $1,400 days. One of my better trades was shorting a retest of support. This was a pretty quick 30 points on 2 contracts for $1,200. Then I had a day of overtrading. My biggest loss was a long on NASDAQ. The issue here was the trade location and the fact that I was actually in a position on ES at the same time and was overly convinced of a bullish trend day, got greedy, so I slapped on an NQ contract at the highs, which is just a boneheaded move that I'd rather not share with you. I adjusted my stop to be able to weather a pullback, but we got more than a pullback and I stopped out for a 36-point loss on NQ. And to add salt in the wound, my ES trade completely retraced, so instead of taking a 9 or 10 point profit, I exited for less than a $200 profit. Now, I got chopped up trying to trade this action after this and ended the day down $2,400. Now, despite all this, I ended the week on a strong note and was up $3,300 the first 8 days of December. Now, unfortunately, the week before Christmas got me effed up. My biggest loss was shorting the pullback here and stopping out for a 36-point loss. I took 4 out of 5 red days that week. But since I took the account up to $2,000 in the green, my max drawdown now becomes negative $2,500. So I was in a tight spot going to the Friday before Christmas, and I should have been patient and waited until after the holidays, but I lost $521 that day, which took my account past the max drawdown, and poof, the XFA is gone. So overall for the XFA, I had a 47.51% win rate, which isn't bad, but my wins just weren't big enough to outweigh my losses. To recap some of my issues, I had a hard time adjusting my bias. I oversized or got greedy. If I was in a trade and stopped out early and watched it run, I would tilt and make poor decisions. I had a hard time staying in trades longer to capture more profit because I lacked confidence in my analysis. And here's a poignant note from my journal in the middle of December that I want to read for you. I keep getting shaken out of my trades. I feel good about my trade, add a second contract, then think about how I don't want to lose that money, get stopped out for break even and watch it move without me. Or I take a small profit and watch it hit my initial target. I need to really stick with my original stop loss. It gets harder to do so when I'm already in the red for the day and I'm trying to limit my risk. I've taken these lessons back to my remaining 150K Top Step Combine. Now this combine was reset on December 4th, so I was trading this along with my XFA.
Both is happening at the same time.
I actually did pretty well in December here, except for the 13th where I took an oversized loss of $3,300. Regardless, I did make $2,400 that month in this combine and then started off January on a strong note. Now I do want to highlight a couple of trades here. On the 4th, I got in for a nice breakout at NQ, but I trailed with my stop loss a little too tight, which is a bad habit of mine. So my original stop loss was 471.50. I get up about $1,600, but I'm still holding for my target to hit and watching as my account balance gets really close to my $9,000 target. I need to pass the combine. But I get a little nervous watching all that profit vanish on the pullback and think, well, I could take it off here and be green on the day. So I do, but then we ripped to my target and 30 points beyond that. So I took what was a great trade entry and mismanaged it. And this day actually turned into an $1,800 losing day. That is 100% me trading my P&L, being scared to lose money, just hard habits for me to break. But I bounced back the next day. I don't normally trade pre-market, but there was a beautiful bull flag on top of prior resistance. So I took 2 contracts long with tight risk and held it into open. That was good for about 50 points. Now I forgot to download my last day of trading on the 8th before they closed out the combine, but I screen recorded the last bit of the trade, hitting my $9,000 profit. So now I have a new XFA account. I'm focusing on a few key things. 1, trade location. Previously, I've hopped into trades expecting a move to happen even if my entry is not the best place. So I'm becoming more patient, but also trying not to overthink things too much and miss out on a good entry. 2, I'm trusting my analysis, but also watching for signs the market may be shifting. I want to be able to adapt as the market changes and provides me with new information. 3, I need to get more comfortable taking losses. This will also allow me to get bigger winners because I won't get shaken out of good positions just because they are a little red. Okay, so I'm 2 days into trading this XFA. The first day was an $800 loss, and today I made about $1,800. So my account balance is just under $1,000. Not only is my win percentage up to 61.5%, my profit factor is much better at 1.73, so I'd love to keep moving in this direction. I just want to give you a quick update before I end the video. I've been trading this new XFA funded account for 4 days. The last 3 have been profitable, so I'm at just over $2,800 in the green, and I have 3 out of the 5 total winning days of at least $200. So once I get 2 more winning days, I can request a payout. I probably won't do that because I really want to grow the account a little bit more. I've really enjoyed trading in the combine. It's been like a nice way to limit my risk and get better as a trader. So if you want to check out the combine for yourself with Top Step, I'll put a link down in the description. And I look forward to sharing my journey with you along the way as I continue to get better as a trader. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.